This beautiful bracelet is beaded as a right angle weave band, which is then embellished with bicone beads. Keep watching this tutorial if you want to learn how to bead it. The materials you need to make this beautiful bracelet are as follows. So for a right angle weave band I am using 11 O's. For the purpose of the tutorial I will use 2 colors, but obviously you can use only one. Then we will need some 15 O's. Again, they could be contrasting or the same color as the bicones, and 4mm bicones. If you want to have a clasp like this, you can use a 3 strands magnetic clasp, or maybe 2 strands if you decide to make a narrower band for your bracelet. Okay. Now let's have a look at the structure of the bracelet. So we are going to make the bracelet in 2 steps. The first step is beading this band of the bracelet using the simple right angle weave units. We will need an even number of units on the width, so you can start with 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, I think it would be slightly too narrow, so let's say 4, 6, 8 units. And then after you set up the width you need or you want, we start building up the length of the bracelet. After this first step, we continue with embellishment. That is going to be done right on the middle row of seed beads, and then we attach the clasp. As this clasp usually takes about ½ an inch, the length you have to bead will be ½ an inch less than the wrist size. So for a 6.5 in inches, you will need to bead 6 inches of the right angle weave band. Let's start with a right angle weave band, and for this one we pick up 4 seed beads, and close the circle. I leave a tail that we can use if it will be needed for attaching the clasp. And this is the starting right angle weave unit. We move the thread through the next seed bead, this is number 1 unit. We pick up 3 and create the second unit around the seed bead where the thread comes out. We move the thread in what I would call position 2. So here we have 1, 2, 3. This would be position 2. Here we have 2 right angle weave units. We pick up 3 seed beads, go from the other direction in the seed bead where the thread comes out, and we build up this way the third unit, and we move the thread in position 2. So position 2 considering from the seed bead where the thread comes out. And here we have again 3 seed beads, go back through the seed bead, and here we can decide. Here we have 4 units. If we stay with 1, 2, 3, 4, or we add 2 more or 2 more. So for the purpose of the tutorial, I will have here 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my last unit for the width of the bracelet. And now I have to move the thread in position 1, because with the thread in position 1 we go back towards the first unit and make another row of right angle weave units. Let's move the thread in position 1. And now we pick up 1, 2, 3 seed beads for this first unit, the returning unit. And now we have to move the thread in this position. So this would be 1, 2, 3 in position 3. This will be only for the unit where the work goes back. Okay. In position, with the thread in position 3, we need to go through this one and add 2 more beads to finish the second unit. Pick up 2 seed beads, go through these 2, now we need to move the thread in position 1, pick up 2 seed beads, and the fourth we are going to use it, the seed bead from unit 3, and we need to bring the thread in position 2 now, and here we connect with the bead from the previous row. So for this unit we have already 2 with 2, okay, and here is our second row. Let's continue with another row. So we need to move the thread in position 2. And this will be the first seed bead of the new unit. So we pick up 3, we finish this unit, move the thread in position 1, pick up 2 seed beads, use 1 bead from the previous row second unit and close through this seed bead. Okay, now we move the thread in position 2. We use the seed bead from the third unit from the previous row. In this moment we have already 2 seed beads from this unit. Pick up 2 and finish the unit. We move the thread in position 1. So we are ready now for the last unit of this row. So we pick up 2 seed beads, we connect with this bead from the previous row, we close the circle, and we move the thread in position 1 so we can continue our bracelet, our band, for the length we need. Let's bead together a few rows. And here we had 1 row, 1 more row, I hope it's quite clear for you how this band with right angle weave units is built up. I'll make a few more rows off the camera and I will come back to show you how to add the mid-band embellishment. Now let's go to the second step of the embellishment in our bracelet. And here, when we have an even number of right angle weave unit, here we have the first unit, the second unit, and here at the end of the second unit we have these seed beads that sit with a hole in the direction of the length. That is the row we are going to attach our embellishment on. See? Is this one. Yeah. So let's move our thread. We skip 1, 2, of those beads. So here we would have 1, the second, and let's anchor 1, 2, I think I will anchor it here because I don't have too much length, but when you have the full length, just leave 2 for the ends like this here. The clasp will attach better. So with the thread coming out of one of the beads in the middle row, we pick up 4 seed beads. I'm using a different color just to be easier to see. We skip the next one and we go up through the second. So here I have 1 and I go out through this one. Okay. And this is something that we do for the length of the bracelet. So one, 2. Pick up 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's say that we've done this for the entire length. When we are at the last one, we pick up 1/15, drop it, and then go back up through the 11/0 at the base. This is something that we do so we can turn the thread. And now with the needle going up the first 2, we pick up 1 seed bead and go through the next one. Here is how we will make our peak. Then we go through the 11/0 at the base, up the first 2 seed beads from the loop, pick up 1 and go down through the next 2, through the base, up through the first 2, pick up 1, go down, and through the base 1. And here again, to be able to turn the thread, we pick up 15-0, sorry. Could be an 11-0 as well, depends how you want it to look like. Okay, and now we make the second branch using the same beads in the middle row. So 4, 4, go through the next one, so this would be the second row, and again we go through the seed bead in the base, through the 15-0, and this is how we turn our thread, and we skip the 15-0 and go back up through the base seed bead, and now up through 2, the first 2 in the loop, pick up 1, 11-0, go back down through the next 2, and then the seed bead in the base, up the first 2 in the loop, pick up 11-0, go down, then in the seed bead from the base band up 2, pick up 1 seed bead, go down 2, then down the 11-0 in the base, through the 15-0, and this is how we turn the thread, and back up in the 15-0 in the base, like this. So this is how it looks like. Now we bring over our 4mm bicones, and pick up a 15-0, a bicone, 15-0, and we connect with the 11/0 in the base. And the bicone should sit on those wings, on those loops, and it will look like a faux bezel actually. And we just continue with this sequence, 15/0, bicone 15/0, go through the 11/0 at the base, in the base band, and here where I have the last one in my tutorial, the same sequence, and go through the bead that is right on the band, like this. Make sure that the thread is well tensioned. And now, because we are dealing with bicones, we reinforce and we go back, just retracing the same thread path. Okay. You need to be patient in this step because it's slightly more difficult to have the thread and the needle to go through the beads that we want. But don't lose your patience. Okay. And here we have it. So this is the embellishment that is done on 4 right angle weave band, and this is how it looks on 6. Now obviously you can continue with an embellishment on the sides if you want. Just make sure that you follow the thread, the existing thread path. And move the thread on the edge here, and you can add for instance another seed bead in between the ones that stick out from the right angle weave, just like this. Okay, and here obviously we will need to go back and reinforce. Now let's have a look and see how we attach the magnetic clasp. For this band is slightly too wide to my liking, so just for you to pay attention and see what goes better. And I would say that I am still going to show you, just for the sake of showing you how to actually attach it. So with the thread coming out of one of the beads that stick out at the end of a right angle weave, I just go with the thread under the loop of the clasp and around the bead, just like this. Under, being magnetic, obviously the needle sticks to the clasp. And when we have reinforced enough times, following the thread path, we move to another bead where it would make sense to connect the next strand, the next loop. Okay, it seems that this bead is good enough for that. So under, on top, under, on top, and again a few times until you feel that this connection is secure. When you have finished, you just weave in following the existing thread path in the base band, and then just cut the thread. Then you attach in the same manner the clasp on the other side, and you will get a very, very strong and actually looking nice connection for your clasp. So this is today's tutorial. I hope you like the bracelet and I hope you like the technique. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you with another tutorial. Ciao, ciao.